Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Now it's time for your weekend tech tip, brought to you by Chevy Silverado.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the Chevy Silverado tech tip of the week, and this one, very interesting. Let's get a shot, Alan, with that Kershaw Tech Cam. I want to show you some plugs. These are Y code. What's a Y code? Tell me what a Y code is.
A Y code is Yakima's way of putting a custom SKU for a custom color.
Okay.
So if you flip over the packaging.
Okay, right here on the back.
Yep. If there's a Y there.
And that's right in here. You don't have to zoom all the way in.
That means it's a custom color, and that means it's special. That means it's not a catalog color. It was created for a specific project. It was created for a specific cause. And if you find those, whether they're big box retail or online somewhere, I suggest you hang on to them.
So what's interesting to me is I've been involved with Yakima and all the other manufacturers for a long time, and I'd never heard the term Y code. It's a thing, okay? Custom colors have been something that they've made. A lot of manufacturers have, but Yakima is extremely well known for working with smaller companies, whatever it might be, who wants to see something different than what they might find somewhere else. You went way overboard, dude. I mean, these are all individual custom colors that Yakima put together. How did you come up with these colors? Was this on you? Did you have somebody that in your pro staff family?
Yeah. So one of our guys up north, his name is Cole Baxter. He fishes 700 days out of a 300-day year.
Wow.
And these are his custom colors that he's kind enough to give to us.
Very interesting.
And they're all very fishy. They're very special. They're very unique. At this time, we don't know if we're going to do another run out of them. If they're popular, maybe, perhaps.
Right.
But kind of what we have is what we have, and huge credit to him because they're beautiful, they're stunning, they're unique. I know you've got your favorites too. You've already picked out like 3 or 4.
Well, more than that, because the hardest part when you're talking about these Y code color combinations is they're just colors that you haven't seen before, but your eyes always go to what you're used to, right? Which, if you're going to look at one right off the top and go, okay, I'm kind of used to seeing that, it's probably going to be this one here with the chartreuse bill and a little bit of cerise on the side, because, if it's not chartreuse, it ain't no use, right? I mean, so it's one of those things that we've talked about a lot.
That's tech tip number 2.
There you go. But it's the color combination. This one, and forgive me, I don't have my cheaters on, Nookback?
Nooksack Eater.
Okay, Nooksack Eater. Okay, how they come up with these names, man. But just a really cool, I mean, that's like the very first one I'm going after. But then you start taking a look at ones that you've literally never seen before, with orange and pink and chartreuse on there, broken up in straight lines, which is something that you don't typically see, is a straight line on a plug. Fish don't see that. When it's in the water and it's actually working, it's just, it puts off like a glow. Again, we've talked about this in the past. These colors, they don't disappear, but they're not as distinct as what you and I see in a package or in our hand. When the fish sees it, it's kind of, it glows, right? Everything just kind of blends together. So the contrasts are what come together and really put off something different. But you can see that that's very much broken up with straight lines, but just a really cool color. Not just that, though, but you've got the 3.0 spinning fish in a number of different colors. I'm absolutely going after this blue with the chartreuse tail, the black bill on it, getting a little bit more traditional with the chartreuse bill and the cerise bodies, but again in combos that you haven't seen before. And in the Father's Day sale at the factory, you can go find these up there, and of course pick out some rods. Yep. So okay, so you got a bunch of these plugs exclusive for Edge Factory, Edge rods. When they go up to the factory and do a tour, a lot of questions that we get is, what can the consumer see? Rather than one of the big questions we get is, well, whenever I've been in there, they don't have what I want in stock, right? These are all these rods are made by hand. They're in runs. If they're not there when you get there, correct me anywhere that I'm wrong. If they're not there when you get there, you'll be able to see one, right? But not one that you can always take home with you. That sometimes have to manufacture it for you. If they did go up there, they want to get some plugs, they want to get some rods, of course. Is it easy to have a rod built, or is it something that it's better to pick something maybe that's already there?
Both. So
okay.
We will have inventory, so you can take a look and see. And if you fall in love with a rod, or you're looking for a specific rod, you can pick one up there. But also, we want to show people what makes Edge different. It takes a couple of weeks for us to make a rod. It starts from the braiding of the handle, and you can see how folks literally braid that handle in front of you.
No question.
From the rolling of the blank, not just from tying the guides on and you know, making sure that the blank is properly spined, but we want you to see 150 fellow Americans that are busting every single day just to make sure that we can keep rods flowing through the factory. And we're blessed and thankful that we have become a Pacific Northwest staple. Where the truth is, we are back ordered. We're trying as hard as we can. We've added more factory resources. We talked about Stryker. But that's because our customers love what we stand for and what we do.
Sure.
So come over, see how rods are made. Say hello to Gary. I'd love to say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Look at the awesome amount of tackle that we've put together. Come and see how rods are made.
One of the most interesting things that I think that I saw when I went to your factory, one, to learn how these rods were made, but I'm a huge fan, and like all of us are, the Black Widow line and now the Silver Widow line. If you're familiar with those, it's just the different design, it's the more woven. Literally, when he said woven by hand, he is not making that up. They are literally every aspect made by hand. Now, I'm not familiar with this, but I'm assuming it's the same concept. There's an individual that is sitting down every day, and they're making these things by hand. Now, I was so impressed by how in the heck those Black Widow and Silver Widows in particular were being put together, but the intensity that it takes to get these things correct, it's not coming off of like a mass-produced factory line. These are touched by hands every step of the way.
And we want you to meet our machinery. They have names, Dave and Zach and Vicky, and it's those people live, breathe Pacific Northwest fishing. Most of them have been at the factory for 20 years. They followed Gary throughout the career. They've forgotten more about rod building than even I know, but this is such a treasure. When we talk to people that are outside of the Pacific Northwest, this is like the Silicon Valley of rod making. You can stop in and you have an open factory that will open up its doors and say, hey, we don't have many secrets. We want to show you why it takes 8 weeks to make a rod, 5 weeks to make a rod. So we want to see everybody. We want to see dads come over for a tour. Bring your kids, and if you want to spend a couple of hours trying to roll a blank, we'll show that too. So.
The machinery by itself is amazing. When we come back, we've got another one into the line of the 360 Pro. This is one that you may not, I'm willing to bet Jared hasn't seen one in his hands. 11.5 foot Pro 360 Pro rods. I mean, these are just amazing. When we come back, we're going to expose you to one that you haven't seen yet. You'll see it here on Outdoor GPS. We'll be back in just a minute.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Yakima Bait, steeped in tradition, innovation, and fishing success. And by Procure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective.